to give input during the runtime. So what and all the user was given. So here we are entering input box. String prompt is in first argument, title is the second argument, default is third, exposure and y position is the fourth. Let me just edit input box here. Here we can see A's life. A has a tragic life now. So this is all the example of input box. These three we can see here input box example by having a title, having default value, etc. So let me just go to the input box here. So input box, please enter a value is nothing but the first argument where we enter the value, right? Now the title is vbscript pop-up. It is the title which comes up the dialog box. You must enter value is the default 1, 500x and 500 y position. Let me just close that for you. Let me just double click it. So please enter a value here. You can see here you must enter a value is the default one, right? Let me just edit that. And what I can write, I don't no let me just write value, right? Let me just close that for you. See here, value entered came now. Let me just go to the today's topic. Let me just open today's topic. Today's topic is message box now. Let me copy that for you. Let me paste it here. So let us set an agenda for today's topic here. So today's topic we are going to discuss about input box. Not input box, message box. It will be very in-depth, detailed topic, because just listen to this message box topics and we can create a future fake virus now. So let me just copy it, set it for agenda part 6. Now let me just open that file. Let me just write agenda part 6, agenda part 6 now. Let me set an agenda. What is the agenda for today's topic? So what is message box, right? What is a message box? So message box is a function, right? So it not only has a single argument. Here we will discuss the bunch of arguments here. So it can have probably many things. So we have buttons, we have title. So yeah, let me just show you. So message box, normally how we write in future examples, we just write like this, right? Just we'll give a string value, print something, anything, we'll just print, and we'll give double quotes, and if we execute the script, it will just print the value, print something which will be displayed outside, right? So message box will be the function, right? So function which prints, displays something outside. Okay, let me just show you. So one of the examples where I have used message box all the time in my previous examples, right? So this is nothing here. Oh, before that I'll just write it down. What exactly is message box? Message box is nothing but if it is a kind of function which helps you to print an output. So we can say it like this: it is used to display the message when vbscript program is executed, right? So it is used to display the message when vbscript program is executed, correct? So let me just save that agenda, close it. We'll go to one of my previous examples. So let me see variables. Okay, I have said in the part 2. Let me double click implicit, or let me just open it. So here I have used val is the to value. Here I am printing with the message box now. Let me close it for you. Let me double click it. So here the pop-up comes with to value. It here for you. Let me just write the syntax of message box. How many arguments are there? How many arguments it can take? So syntax, it goes like this. So first we'll have something called prompt. Prompt is nothing but the way we display the message, the way vbscript displays the message, right? What and all is displayed in the dialog box. So that is called prompt here. So let me just show an example, show you as a argument. So the second one is nothing but buttons, right? So this is one of the major things in the message box here. So button, with all of the buttons I can show you how the different types of boxes are there, different types of OK buttons, S button, no button, abort button, retry button, etc. Let me just save it. So let me just minimize it for you. Let me just open again variables. So implicit declaration, I have double clicked it. As you can see here, OK is a button and dialog box is popped up here. So let me rename it for my, I might just forget it. So let me open the message box again, agenda. Okay, I've already opened that. Anyway, let us see the arguments now. So what are the arguments present? So third will be the title, as similar to the input box function. How we are using the title there? We can, if you want to know more, you can click on the right hand side corner of the video, so you can know more about input box. There also we have used title, we have used default value, we have used prompt. So position by position. Helpfile is nothing but if the user is defining something of the dialog box, right? So he wants to give an extra help for the user, for the end user. So help button pops up in the dialog box, which we might see in the future part. So if you just have to click that, it will open a help file and it will guide you to the path of what exactly the message the dialog box means, right? If you see the context also, it is kind of similar. Context will be, yeah, okay, we are going to see these three in depth, not help file and context for the time being now. So let me just write prompt. So in-depth explanation of just the statement of each and every argument. So prompt is a string, right? So prompt is nothing but a string output which is displayed as message. The dialog box. So that is a display, the message will be displayed, right? That is nothing but a prompt. So let me move on to buttons, right? Here buttons are the major parameter, but it is also optional here. Button is also a numeric value here. So every numeric value will tell you what kind of displayed. So whether it is a OK button, whether it is a S and no button, whether they are abort retry buttons, whether that is a warning critical messages, etc. So it is a numeric expression which specifies which specifies which kind of one and two, right? So it will specify exactly how many arguments we are dealing with. Or let me just write capital letters also here, so it will give more importance. Let me see the third here. Third is nothing but a title. Title is as similar to input box here, and it is also optional. Okay, let me write it down, optional here. What is string? What is title? Title is also string, displays on the head title bar of the dialog box, right? So it is a string value displayed on the title title bar, right? So let me go to the fourth argument, Helpfile. So as already discussed above, Helpfile will be the help file. Okay, it is also optional here now. So only thing which is correct is prompt, right? Prompt is the one, except that everything is optional here. So it is a string, right? So in this string we can give the path of the file where exactly the specified dialog box help can be found out, right? It is also we can give in string format. We can specify in depth the help file value, right? So help file is not only present in different formats, it also gives here identical values, right? It also identifies a string, right, which will identify where the help file is present. So it is a string value which identifies the file for providing help for the user to understand it properly, right? So let me just see another example here. Not an example, it's a context. So it's an argument and it is optional here. Okay, sorry, I wrote it wrong in the help file. It is optional, spelling was a mistake. So what is the context here? Context is also a numeric value which will tell us if the file has like multiple contexts, multiple indexes, right? So if I specify the particular index, it will go. Okay, let me show you an example quickly. So let me consider this is a help file, right? So we have the context is a first context here where we have something, it's an example, second context, third context, right? So in this context, if we specify the numeric value, right, it will take us to a particular context. Which identifies the help context number assigned by the user, right? So these are 5 arguments. Prompt is 1, buttons are the 1, titles, the prompt is mandatory, and it also specifies, it's a numeric expression which specifies which kind of button to display. There it can be 1, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 16, 32, etc. So title is the other one, which displays a string value which is displayed on the title bar. So it is exactly similar to input box, and we have Helpfile and context. Let me just save this file. Let me just so this is exactly how we can show message box in depth, right? It will be helpful for the user to understand. Instead of just let me just close it for you. Let me just write a simple example to show message box in depth now. So normally I'll use a comment here, in depth as an example, right? Just not writing it, showing it in example. That is what I like the most. So normally this is how we use message box. Hi, how are you? Right? How are you? Oh, sorry. How are you? Right? Let me just save this file. Let me just edit it before doing that. We have to select all files. So what can I write? Message box examples.vbs. Yeah. Let me just double click it without giving any arguments. So you can say hi, how are you? Let me open the file for you, VBS file. So now we'll come to buttons part, right? So what exactly are buttons? Like what exactly are the numeric values? So let's give one. Let's understand what one does, right? One just gives an OK button. Let's see. So to display OK and cancel, right? So what does it do? Let's see. Let's find it out, right? Let me just copy it so I can see each and every messages here. Okay, close it, double click it. Okay, you can see here OK and cancel, how are you, as a message, but no title bar here, right? Nothing is there. Let me just close it, open this, edit this message examples again. Let me just see one more example, one more button, right? So let me just copy this, right? So in order to copy that, so I can explain you each and every button in depth, right? So we will not just tell them this message box in slowly, right? So I will also specify here the title now. So I'll just write this is a message box dialog box, maybe. Yeah, that will be good. Dialog box, and I'll comment the other statement, close it, double click it. Now we can see the title here. See, title, OK and cancel button, because the first first button we have used numeric value was 1, right? So let me just edit my miss examples again. So let us see another button, right? So let me just copy this. Maybe I can copy the entire thing, right? So that I can show a sequence, in a sequence, what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or okay, just let me just copy it, right? So comment it, paste it. So this is second number. So this is a message box. So let me see what it displays exactly, right? Let me just comment it and write it displays about and retry and ignore. 3 buttons it displays, right? Okay, it's just the values too. That's it. Double click it. See, how are you? About, retry, ignore. Fine. Edit it again. Let me see another button for you. Enter, paste. Let me comment the previous one and write it here. Before that, we have to know what exactly 3 displays, right? So 3 displays as no and cancel. This is nice combination which is given by vbscript. Yeah, that button is 3 now, not 23. It's 3. Oh, let me just comment it, save it again, close it, double click it. Now you can see yes, no and cancel. That's it now. Really good. Let me close it again, open the message box examples. So we have discussed 1, 2, 3 now. So we have 4. Like what does 4 do, right? So we have seen about, retry, ignore. So let me just copy this. So and let me comment the example. Let me paste it here. So let me just write it 4. 4 are nothing but, so it displays only yes and no. So double click it. It is at yes and no? Yes, it is. Yes and no buttons, right? Just open it, edit it. So we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see another one, right? This yes and no is a combination now. About, retry, ignore, yes, no, cancel, yes and no. So next one is a combination of yes and no and retry, ignore, about. So let us see what is the combination here. Let me just enter it from here. Let me just paste this one, comment the above one. Let me just write 5 here, uncomment the above one, uncomment the below one. Write 5 here, and what and all buttons it will display? I have to think it properly, buddy. So it displays, yes, you're right, it displays retry and cancel, right? Let me just save it. Yeah, Control S, yeah. Let me just close it, double click it. See here, retry and cancel. Let me just close it, edit it again. So now we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the other values? You have 6. Now from here the complexity starts, right? We have 3 things here: critical, warning, and information, and warning message, right? So normally here let me just copy this one, right, so that I can explain the criticality again. So instead of that, so let me just write it down, right? What are critical messages, right? What is a critical message? What are the, like, if virus is there, it will be critical message for system, right? These are the messages will come in X form, right? It will be having a red pop-up message. So for system wise, those are critical messages. We have different kinds of critical messages. So let us see another one. So it's a warning message. if condition is not critical, right? So then it is a warning message. It can be a critical, but it's a warning message, by the way. So last thing is information messages. It just gives the information, right? What information is required, those are displayed. Really critical there. So let me just copy it. By the way, these critical warning information are just buttons, right? These are different numbers which we will specify now. So let me just copy that. We have copied it. Now what is example? It is a critical message 16 button, right? What kind of message we can write, right? What kind of message will be critical? If I'm studying in a school, right? If it is a lockdown, if not at all a lockdown, if we are in holiday mood, right? If holidays are going on after the entire semester is over, so what is the critical message as a student? A school opens is a critical message, right? A school is opening here, so system is generating a message, right? So for you, so school opens, right? School opens is a critical message. Question mark is not required there, so we can delete the question mark. So who generates this message? Institution probably sends the message to us. So from holidays, if guy is coming back, so to college or any institution or any school, so it will be a critical message for us, right? Critical message. So let me just uncomment it, save it, close it, double click this. See here, school opens, right? So yeah, it is specified into mark. So funny here. Okay, let me edit this. Let me double click it. It's not double clicking. Okay, let me just open like this. Let me just copy this. Let me just paste it. So what are the next? Warning messages are not exactly a critical message, but it is a warning generated from a computer. Like, if this potential software
plans inevitably
might harm
change,
your
with
system,
roadmaps
it is a warning message. It is not a critical message, right? So those are just nothing but warning message or warning pop-ups which are thrown by a computer. You could have all experienced it, right? The McAfee, if you are using an antivirus, right? So McAfee throws a warning message whenever we are accidentally downloading a software which is not required. So what can be a title for that, right? So title and number will be a 32 number. It is not. I think it is 32 number. So whenever a system throws a message, right? So what kind of message will be a warning message? So this software might harm your system, right? Harm your computer. This will harm your computer. So this is critical one. Might will come as a warning. Critical is just straightforward. It will just harm your computer. So it will be a system message, right? So system is throwing a computer a message. It will be a system message. So it might harm your computer. It is also a system generated message, right? And let me just save it. Close it, double click it, This will harm your computer. Oh, I forgot. Warning is button is not 16. It should be 32. Yeah. Now just let me save it, close it, double click it, and this will harm your computer now. So, what is another message? Sorry, I forgot something. It is not 32 also. It is 48. I'm really sorry for that. Let us save it, let us close it, double click it. So, this must harm your computer now. See, warning icon. So, third kind of that will be just a warning message instead of warning icon, right? This is just a warning query because I didn't give a comment here. So you can see a question mark. This is the warning query icon. So let me see another example now. So we have another button that is 64 that is purely information based. So let me just enter it. Let's comment the previous statement. So information icon. This is an information dialog box, right? We can just write it on dialog box. It is 64. It is also system message. Just double click it. You can see here this is the information dialog box. Let me open value here. These are all but different types of buttons all message box uses. So guys, if you have any doubts here, let me put the comments down so that I can give I can answer each and every one. So please do subscribe here. Please press the bell icon if you like all my videos. Thank you for watching, and also I have all the vbscript series is going on, and you can see on the left hand side there is different a video to pop up. Also there are like Helpfile is there, context is there. So we are not discussing in depth here. We have all discussed about buttons because next video will be very promising, to be honest. Next video we'll create a fake virus using all message box buttons, right? So it will be a prank and it will be really fun, really fun to code. Always my logo is one thing here. So let's programming fun again, right? So if we have so much of fun, we can play around programming and we can learn programming very easily instead of just teaching a different format, right? So I could have explained it normally anything but like message box, hi, how are you, just write it down. I have explained each and everything in buttons format so that it will be in-depth explanation of a simple concept here. So I'll be teaching in this way. This way will be really helpful, right? So okay guys, if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe my channel. Thank you.
Hello guys, I am Azhar Jamal. So let us discuss what we covered in the last video. Last topic was if, else, if and else, right? If, else, if, else, to be very precise. So let me open the agenda for you. So we discussed what are conditional statements. So in 4a part we discussed about if clauses, if clause, if condition, and if else condition. So we discussed in the last part if, else if, else and if statement. So if, else, if, else. So what examples we covered at that time? So we covered a simple web series, right? We have a tragic A life. If you guys want to know about what happened with A, just click the I above the right hand side corner of the video, right? You'll get to know what happened with A. Anyway, moving past that, so A wants to see all his favorite TV series, right? So he wants to schedule in such a way in the entire month. So he wants to cover Friends, Suits, How I Met Your Mother, and Dragon Ball Z. So Friends he's going to cover on the first week of Saturday. Suits he wants to cover on second week of Saturday. Similarly, two more web series are falling with third week of Saturday and a fourth week of Saturday. So we simplified for A what he wants to do. So we executed this program, and I will just show you one example of it. So execute this program. What is coming up, and which week of Saturday, right? So I'll just enter Saturday the one, right? So what will be the output? The program says for A, you have to watch Friends. What if nothing is given, right? What if I gave up nothing, right? So it says it's not a TV series, everybody. So to know that, the thing which I used at that time was InputBox. So people might be wondering what is InputBox, right? Because normally I'll be assigning a value to a variable like this. So I'll be just assigning the value for A, 2, and I'll be executing the program. But now, in the last video, as I have used InputBox, I just wanted to make one more video, one more topic on InputBox, right? So let me just open, and I know we have part 4C coming too, but before that, let me create one more part for you. So this will be a future part. So part 5, right? So this will be an input box. So let us take a part 5, which is input box. Let me write an agenda for part 5. Then we can discuss few more about input box, right? So let me copy the same. Agenda part 5. So let me just double click it. Agenda part 5 is nothing but input box. So what is an input box? So input box, what is an input box? And there are some default statements. There are some extra inputs where this input box can take. So we'll discuss input box in detail, right? So let me just give a definition, sample definition. What is input box does? Input box takes the input from the user during runtime. So accessing user, telling user to give input during runtime. Right? So how does it look? What is the syntax? So syntax is like quite, I'll say, syntax might be complex, but let us see in depth. So let's take input box. So what are the default values? Like if do you want to give an input, like if I give string, so this is a first value that input box can take. So we can have a string which is just which will be just a prompt value. So prompting the user, just giving the user what this box is about, right? So instead of me writing the entire syntax, let us see in examples which I always do, right? So let me just write a program. So edit it, not this one. Edit it. Okay, fine. So let me take first input box example, right? So okay. So what is the let us take any variable of, let us take a only. So I'm giving the value of this variable during runtime. So I'm indirectly prompting the user to dynamically give the value so that I don't have to hard code it like this. So I don't have to use this message box 4. So I don't want. So let me see what will happen here, right? Sorry, not message box 4, message box 8. Sorry guys. Save as. Let me just write it. First, take all files. Input box example 1.vbs. And have to give dot, guys, dot, after dot, what and all the extension comes represent vbscript. So so even though if you double click it, let's say 1,000 times, 10,000 times, the 4 is the constant value because we hard coded it. We don't want to hard code it, right? So let me close the agenda. Let me open this file again. Let me just prompt it, right? So just delete what is the value of 4. So input box, I'm prompting the user. Please enter the value. Please enter the value. I'm just putting message box A. I'm printing A. What will be the value of A? So if I double click it, so see, please enter a value. You can see here, please enter a value. This represents what and all we gave here inside. So just let me edit that. Let me open this. So please enter a value is nothing but a prompt. Prompt will be entered in the input box. This is a pop-up, right? So this is the input box pop-up. So please enter a value is just the string we gave so that it can be popped up here. So let me just minimize this. Let me just enter. Please enter a value. So 5. So what will be the output? So dynamically 5. As long as you enter different values, we can get all the values dynamically instead of getting the 4 in the previous time. Always we were getting 4 values. So we have covered the first part here. See, so we gave input box. We took one argument. The argument is a string. It's just a prompt. What if I want the title for the input box? So input box here was not giving me any title, right? See, as you can see here, this icon, it's not giving me any title. It's just blank. What if I want a title? What if I brand it, right? So what if I say ZZ group box, right? Something like that. So what if I brand it? What if I write something? So sorry, I might have opened many. So let me close this agenda. Okay. So what if I say, so let me comment it for the timing. Let me just copy it. So what if I say this pop-up is has a title, right? So let me just give vbscript pop-up, right? vbscript pop-up, vbscript input box pop-up. So I'll save this. As you can see here, please enter a value vbscript pop-up. So so let me open the agenda for you, and let us write what will be the second argument, right? So second argument is nothing but a title, which is also a string value, right? String value title of the pop-up. So let me save it. Let me close this. Let me edit this. So please enter value will be the value inside the pop-up, and this one will be the title. So we have saved this. Let us close it. Let us double click it. So as you can see here, vbscript pop-up comes up here, right? So please enter a value. I'm just entering value hello. See? So we got an answer hello. Okay. We have one more argument. What if I enter? What if I don't enter anything, right? There should be some value popped up to the user saying you must enter something. There should be a default value, right? So we have an argument here. These are all what to say. These are all this title argument. These are not mandatory, but it is good to give, right? So the user can understand fully what input box is capable of, what and all features are there for this input box. So third will be something called a string. This also can be a string, which will be a default value, right? So let me just save this. Let me close this. Let me edit this again. Let me put a comment. Put a comment here. Okay. Let me just copy the example. Let me just uncomment it. Let me just write if user is not entering anything. So I'm just giving a value. You must enter a value. Okay, let me just save this. Let me, sorry, I just clicked the edit one. Let me just save this. Let me just close it. So let me double click that again. So Bob comes here. You must enter a value, right? What if I don't enter? Let's just click OK. So it pops up the exam. It pops a message. You have to enter a value. You got it? So what if I don't enter? What if I enter the value? Will that pop-up go away? Will that message go away? So let us enter hello. So hello will be appearing here, right? Instead of you must enter a value. So okay. Do we have more arguments? Yes, we do have more arguments. So last arguments will be x value and y value. So let me open it. So what will be the last value? So sorry, not here. Enter. So this is default string. So next will be the position of input box, x position and y position, right? So let me just save this. Let me close that. Instead of writing example 1, let me rename it as just examples. Just an example, input box example. So let me just edit it. So let me just copy this, comment it. So we must enter a value. So I want 100x, so maybe 500x, 500y. So let me save it, close it. So it pops up exactly here. And I've dragged it, but it pops exactly here. If you don't enter a value, it says you have to enter a value, right? So let me open the agenda again. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you have not understood about InputBox, about the prompt, title, default, and exposure by position. This I will be covering message box in the future video also. So InputBox, message box, learn thoroughly. We'll create one more simple project with the help of InputBox and message box. So to you. So please if you like my videos, please subscribe it, please share it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. So hello all, that was the videos of message box and input box. Hope you guys have liked it. If you have liked it, please like the video.